welcome to another episode of You,
Me,
and
the Flea.
It is February, officially.
Did you feel like January was the longest month ever?
You know, everyone says that. I don't feel that way.
I did. I feel like this year in particular, maybe it was just because like the last 2 weeks were so gray and wet and rainy. I'm like, can we get some sunlight or something? Like, what are we? This is a lot.
I mean, but I feel like we compare it to like December where you blink and it's over because it's like,
and you're coming from
holiday
like,
parties, on the go, family, traveling.
I feel like
it's
even
just
like
so much.
It is even coming from like Halloween.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like you have 3 busy months.
Yes. And
so
then I feel like,
crawling.
of course, January feels like
forever
molasses because there's nothing going on.
There's literally nothing.
I know. I'm like, I need like an anniversary or something in January.
I need some kind of
something
party
to look forward to because it will just, it will always feel like it's dragging. I
have watched all of the shows, all of everything, and I'm like bored. I need like new stuff. Well, we are in a new month.
We are, and you never know what's coming.
You never know, baby.
You never know what'll drop on those things. No, but obviously, like, you know, February is the vibe of love.
Love it.
LOVE.
Love.
The 4 letter. The dreaded 4 letters that everyone wants to hear but won't say.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's like so hard to say it.
Right.
You know?
So let's talk about that today.
Let's talk about
Let's go. So, yeah, I don't know. What's
Lucky in love.
Rachel, are you in love?
I'm in love, yes.
With who? So
my boyfriend, and even
okay,
I feel
nice.
so awkward, like, yeah, I'm in love. You know, love is like such a crazy thing. It's like a drug.
Total. Yeah.
You know?
Wow, yeah, it really is. Because you'll do some dumb
stuff for love. Mm-hmm. You do. Yeah. And you put up with dumb stuff for love too.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's just like so uncontrolled too. You're like, whoa, this is like this second time I'm seeing this person and oh my God, I'm obsessed.
It's like so weird too. Like when people always would say, you know, I've been in my relationship for 2 years, just about. And prior to that, I was single, which loved being single as well. But, you know, everyone would be like, oh, when you're least expecting it, it will happen and you'll fall in love. And I'm like,
dreaded sentence.
I used to literally annoy me. I'm like, who said I'm looking for it? Maybe I want to just stay single and, you know, flourish as a solo dolo. But yeah, it's definitely a great feeling. But, you know, you also are like, it's not just your feelings anymore. Yeah. You have to also, you know, account someone else.
Yeah, of course.
And, you know, get to know really how they operate and boundaries and what triggers them. And so I think in the beginning of, you know, you're in that, oh my God, I can't wait to see you again. Yeah. And then, you know, it's all fun and games. But once you start like going through obstacles and like having like your little speed bumps and stuff, it's like you really get to know each other.
Totally.
Then you really love each other. Or not.
I mean, I don't know, but I just feel like dating from like our parents' generation to like now.
You can't even compare.
Yeah, it just feels so different because I feel like, you know, my parents only knew each other for 2 weeks and got married.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
wait, where did they meet? Obviously
Greece.
not online.
It was like semi kind of arranged,
I guess
you could say, but
like,
not like really. It was more like, you know, my dad kind of courted and my mom was one of 4 sisters. And so like, so they were like a prime house, you know.
Wow, that was prime real estate.
Yeah. But my point is just like, you think my mom knew my dad's boundaries,
right?
Like his like mental health, like like woos and his love language. She didn't know any of that crap.
And also,
you know
I feel like our parents' generation didn't even talk about that stuff.
No, not at all.
Like, so now I hate when people are like, oh yeah, your generation, everyone's got anxiety and mental health problems. I'm like, well, actually,
everyone's probably had them.
Yeah, and you guys just like put them under the rug and like kept it rolling.
Totally.
Yeah. Wow. So 4 daughters.
Well, yeah, my mom is one of 4, but
how long have your parents been together?
45 years.
That's so amazing.
Yeah, just about 40. Yeah, 40. Yeah, 45. So
that's like amazing.
I know.
You don't hear that stuff anymore.
I know. If you do the math for me, I'll be like, yeah, it's like not the same.
No,
you know what
not.
I mean? Like
it's
they
not.
get a whole leg up. She was 17, my mom.
Okay, so is your dad the same age as your mom or older?
No, he's 10 years older.
Oh
yeah, he's a shot.
Dang,
he pulled a shotty.
Wow.
Yeah. So, anyways, I mean, I think our parents are like great examples, right? Whether your parents get a divorce or not, or like whatever, that's the first example I think of love that you see. You know
your
what
parents,
I mean? Of course,
100%. I always
your household.
Totally. I've been blessed to have what is it called? My parents have been together. They're not. It's not two household family. I don't know. They're married.
Yeah.
They're high school sweethearts.
Cute.
Yeah.
That's
and they've
so
been
cute.
together forever too. And so, they're like my goal.
Of course. Yeah.
It's, I always would say, like, when I was single, like, I don't want to settle because I know that, like, this love is, like, possible.
Yeah.
But it's also so different now. So it's like, you got to also be, like, real with yourself,
Of course. Yeah. I think, it's always, I think with those examples, especially, like, my parents, not to speak on yours, but, like, back then, too, like, you always put your family, your loved one, your kids before anyone else. It seems like, where now, like, people are taking a step back and being like, whoa, I'm not okay. Or like, I need to work on myself, or like, I need a minute. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I remember we had like our playpen in the bath when my mom needed a shower, right? Like, there was no such thing as like self-care where a woman would step away and whatever. That just wasn't a thing.
Not at all.
You see like these people kind of sacrificing and stepping back. And that's number one. And I think that's different today too.
So right.
Where it's like, but you have to like wholeheartedly, like, I don't know how they freaking did it. Like, that's not a way to live. So anyways, I think it's a total.
Yeah, you're so right. I'm just like thinking like, I hear my friends say like they prioritize like their relationship or their marriage over their kid. Mm-hmm. And I know that might sound crazy, but like if you don't have a good foundation, you too, like as a husband and wife or mom and dad, it's, there's more problems.
Yeah. So many experts say like you can never stop dating your partner. Like you have to constantly like get to know each other, whatever, because let's be real, everyone changes week to week.
Definitely.
Like I know for myself, like I'm not the same person I was last month or 6 months ago or not a year ago. Sure. Like, so you have to kind of keep getting to know each other and know how everyone's feeling and be on the same page, I think, to be successful.
Definitely.
So let's talk dating.
Oh, God. Dating was horrible for me. I'm just going to be honest. I hated it. Like, I feel like I always like wanted, it's not that I hated it. Like, I didn't have a problem being single. I think it's just as I got older and all my friends started like getting in serious relationships, getting engaged, getting married, having kids. I was like always the single friend who like never had a +1, never went to a wedding with like anyone. Like, I was like so over that part. Yeah. I mean, you make the best of it, right? Like you make the best of being single and dating, but dating nowadays is just it's like a job.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you could speak more on this, but from like me personally, like let's say 3 years ago, oh boy, it was just like one date after the next of just like, I would never really leave the dates and be like, oh my gosh, this is great. Like I was always like, it's not there,
Yeah, I feel like, when you're like younger, when you're in high school or like college, like it just came so naturally and so easily, right? Like you'd be sitting at like lunch and then a guy that you're like into, like, would ask you to homecoming or something like that. So that was like that kind of puppy love. And then even college, it's like you would go out or like me and my friends would like grab coffee and study somewhere and like we would get approached or like
with another group of guys.
Or there was always like someone studying with us and then eventually they would like ask you out or something. Like it just seemed way easier back like when you're younger. It just seems like, I don't know, like, or you would meet like friend groups. It would be like girlfriend
groups,
guy friend groups.
That's what I'm saying.
Like everyone would
mesh together,
mix and mingle. And
it's not like that anymore.
And now I'm like, anybody. Like,
Yeah.
it is, I mean, first of all, you never know who's single or not. Like, you know, obviously with looking at a ring maybe, but I don't know. So it feels like it came so much natural when you're younger. So when you're in, you know, my age at this point, it's like, it feels obviously more discouraging because it's like, is it me? Am I doing something wrong? Is it whatever? But I just, you just become so busy too, where it's like, I don't have time to like
ask your favorite color.
Yeah, I'm like over it, you know?
How many times are we going to talk about my favorite food?
Interviews. It's just interviews after interview.
Literally.
I'm like, I'm done here.
How do you have a favorite number?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so surface level.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
And then it's like, okay, here, like, this is for me. I feel like, you know, in our age of the 30s, it's like you don't want to come on too strong, right?
Definitely,
in the beginning.
yeah.
But also, we're not getting younger. So it's like, we need to line up quickly
100%.
if you want to be in a serious relationship and like get married and have kids, but you also don't want to bring it up too soon where they're like, this girl is crazy. We've been out 3 times and she's asking what my 5-year plan is.
Right.
So it's like, how do you balance that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for me, I feel like if it's the right person, like it won't be weird.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like, I'm sure you know that too.
Yeah.
Like, you'll know that when you ask that question and they're like, oh, absolutely. I mean, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know, like they won't feel off by you. If someone, I feel like, you know, there's also so many things in dating where it's like, you might, especially nowadays too, because like with that being said, it's like you instantly see a red flag in someone and you're like, I'm done. Right. It's like,
oh yeah.
But again, back when we were younger or like even our parents, whatever, there would be red flag after red flag after red flag. And they'd be like, okay, well, they have XYZ green flag.
Totally.
So,
and then maybe these guys are saying I'm the red flag too. So you know what I mean?
That's like, what I mean. So if someone thinks you're a red flag and then you ask if they want kids, well,
you're definitely,
of course you're going to look like an idiot.
Crazy
in front of
girl.
them.
Yeah.
So
it's very hard. And I think too, you know, there's a whole, like the whole stigma of like dating is so different too than like when our parents were in this like phase of their life because there's social media. Mm-hmm. There's online dating.
Yeah.
Do I think that stuff helps a relationship? No, I don't. I feel like those are all things. Listen, I'm not saying that's the case for every relationship, but it's definitely like a bigger problem than it was when our parents were dating.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it's like, okay, it's Friday. I'm at the office. I'm bored. I'm single. Let me swipe. Maybe set up a date for this weekend. Go get drinks. Go do something. Oh, wasn't feeling her. Let me get back on the dating app and swipe again. Let me find someone. And it's like you're competing with the internet.
Yeah. No, of course. I mean,
like, how do you feel? Like, do you use dating platforms? That's how we met, me and my boyfriend. So I get it.
Yeah.
On and off.
I mean, yeah.
Do you have a like preference over like which one you like over the other?
That's a good question. I feel like for me, I think they're all pretty level-headed. I haven't used like Tinder in a few years.
Oh, me either.
So that's like whatever. But
I feel like that's like you're just looking for
some of the other ones. I mean, look, it's like for me, it feels like the luck of the draw sometimes because
totally.
It's like, you know, you put yourself out there and then they won't respond, or then someone puts themselves out there and then
you're busy at work and you missed it.
Well, you might not be like, I'm like, this guy doesn't look like my type or whatever, you know. Anyways, so I don't know. I wouldn't say one is better than the other, but anyway, we're fighting the fight.
Listen, it's out there. I'm telling you. I used to just think like this is never going to happen and fine, and I've accepted it. But then that one little bumble.
Oh, yeah. It just takes one little bumble.
Happy hump
one
day.
One little bee.
Happy hump day will get you far.
What about love languages? What is yours?
I'm definitely words of affirmation.
Really?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like I obviously would love a gift, but I would rather, I mean, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
But definitely. I would rather you just like tell me I'm great. You're proud of me. I can do it. I know that sounds crazy. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't have that growing up, but I did. I just like thrive on words, even like in the workplace, right?
Yeah.
Like being recognized, like that I'm doing something right. I don't know. That's just how I am.
Yeah.
Also like physical touch. I'm a hugger. Bring it in. You know, I don't know, but like it's
Hold
different.
My hand.
Yeah. It's different for everyone, right?
Yeah.
What about you?
I would definitely say like I give love in gifts. 100%.
Yeah, you for sure.
Like,
You're a great gift giver.
That's like my ammo there. But I would say definitely words of affirmation and quality time.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
you know, because especially even with like friends or whoever, like I think people are so busy and stuff, and even your partner and stuff. And when someone just like carves out time just to be with you, I think that's so special. So
Definitely.
But of course, like you want the words too. Like all that stuff can be, you know.
It's also
you can make out with me all you want and hold my hand, but if
you know what, it's it's interesting to see like what our love languages, but then like your partner could have a totally different love language on how they respond to things.
Right.
So like it's just so interesting. Kind of like that was like. When we first started dating, I was like, let's take this quiz. Like, I was so curious. And he was like, what? This is so dumb. But then, like, it helped me, like, honestly, like, love him in a different way because I just know that he responds differently than I do.
No, of course. It's even like, my sister, for example, my younger sister, like, every time I like give her a gift, she's so like off put by it. You know what I mean? And because that's just not
her style.
Like she just can't accept things like that.
Yeah.
It's very weird for her. She feels awkward. Like, why'd you buy this for me? Like it's, and for me, it's like, but I love you.
Yeah.
I did it because it's June. Like, like random.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. So it's like really truly, I believe that like certain personalities like just gel.
Yeah, definitely.
And it is important to know, I think. Almost like the color wheel with like work and personalities.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, we did that at work once and it's like, it's a whole other episode.
Yeah,
but anyways,
that would be a fun
one. What about navigating like challenges in relationships? Like how would you say you do that?
Yeah, so I actually have like a few things written down. I think like the biggest thing is like trying to have a conversation with not like a one-sided conversation.
Yeah.
So like when we have, a hiccup, it's important to just like calmly sit down and listen to each other.
Yeah.
And then like leave the conversation at the table and kind of just like leave it there. You know what I mean? Like I also think it's super important to like know each other's boundaries or what triggers, me and what triggers him or the other person, I'm a big believer in just like trying to let go of like having the control all the time, which is like something I like have a problem with, like how I respond to things is different than how he responds to things. So it's like, I have to learn to kind of like take myself and my emotions and feelings out of it and see from maybe their point of view.
Right.
So it's challenging. I mean, like, listen, relationships are not easy. Love is not easy. But I think the biggest thing is like you have to be able to communicate and have complete like transparency with one another. No matter what, like there's going to be obstacles and there's going to be life challenges. There's going to be job loss. There's going to be death. There's going to be all these things. And it's like, how do we navigate this as a couple to be stronger rather than like push each other away? But also like you don't know that right off the bat. And that's where it's hard. So I think if you are somebody who's in a new relationship, the biggest thing right off like the top of my head is like you have to have a strong communication style and you have to just be completely transparent with each other.
Yeah, I think so too. I think like
I was going to say, what about you?
I mean, man, the first fight in a relationship is
you're like
the freaking deepest because
you just see different
you don't know
sides
anything.
Of each other. You don't know anything.
It's, you don't know how the person is responding. Like, whatever has happened, it's like, oh geez.
Yeah.
And there's and like you said, I think there's there's definitely different styles in handling situations and similar to like love languages, you have to like learn and adapt to those. Like there's definitely people that storm off and like need a break and like, I don't know, go have a cigarette and like chill out.
Yeah.
And then there's others, that need like a day or two to like actually readdress it.
Yeah.
Then there's other people that are in your face and pointing fingers and want to handle it right then and there. Yeah. And that first, my God, I can just like, I'm having flashbacks of like the first fights and just like being like, whoa, like
this is a lot.
Okay. So this is how we're handling it. And then it's just so interesting because then you as a person like me, for example, like then you're adapting, right? Because I've been with a partner that, you know, screams in your face and like wants to like squash it right then and there. And then I become the like closed off, quiet one being like, okay, I'm going to bite my tongue and not say anything. And then I've had people where I'm like, hello, hi, do you want to talk about this? Do you want to talk about this? Like, we had a fight. Do you want to fix it? And they're like, no, I'm good. You know, and you're just like, and then you're that loud person. Well, I want to like, so anyways,
I think
it's hard.
It is. And I was going to say, like, I think the biggest thing that I'm learning, and I mean, I'm learning this daily. It's like, I'm somebody, even like friendships, family stuff, like I kind of just tell it like it is. And I have to realize that like, so the way I handle things and like saying, you know, I'm never trying to come off like mean. It's just like it kind of comes out. But I'm somebody who's like, I want to just say this now and like, let's move on. But I have realized that some people can't just like move on. And I need to maybe change my approach, you know, like I don't mean it in a bad way, but I'm just somebody who's like kind of like, let's say what it is and like squash it. Yeah. But, you know, that's not how people work.
No.
So I'm learning to just, I need to just bite my tongue more.
No, I mean, yeah. And it happens too, where it's like, I just think there's so many, like you mentioned, there's just so many things that can be thrown at you in life. And this is a partner that you're like doing that with, right? Like whether it's a flat tire in the morning on your way to work, whether it's a kid getting sick, whether it's like, you know, a parent wanting to move it, like
unexpected,
there are so many
something
things
your house owners and
anything.
Your water faucet or your water tank went out. You have these emergency, like now money things, like, you know, unfortunately that creates a lot of problems in relationships too.
Finance, work, whatever. There are just so many things. And like, if you can't look your partner in the face and be like, yo,
what the F
we gotta get through this mud together. You know what I mean? If they're just gonna like, if your partner is gonna sit and watch or likewise, if you're gonna sit back and watch, like that's not to me a relationship, and that's not what is going to work. And that's not how you're going to overcome things, you know? And it's tough. It's a lot of, I think, self-reflection too. Definitely. And growth. And like you said, just kind of growing together. And I think that's the hard part of like why people separate, you know, because people just give up, or
it's not easy. And that's like the number one thing I have on here is like, put in the work.
Yeah.
Like it's so easy to just like say this is too much and like go your separate ways, right? Yeah. But like the grass is not always greener on the other side. Yeah. You know, you got to find that person that is willing to put the work in with you.
Yeah, but I mean, of course, but then you also don't want to be the one, you know, pulling the chain the whole time either.
No, not at all.
If someone's out, they're out. So it's like, it would suck to be in a spot where you're just like, what do I do now? You know, and maybe you have to pull the trigger and walk away.
For sure. I think that's why it's important too, to like really listen. You maybe didn't want to do it on the third date. I mean, like every situation's different, but like you do need to figure out what those person's goals are in a relationship, because you know, I would hate to spend years with somebody and then realize they didn't ever want what I wanted.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. What about some milestones? So like, are you a mover in, or like, would you move in quick? Would you like, or even like, you know, engagement mirror, like, are there timelines you think in relationships?
I don't think there's timelines per se. I mean, I didn't have a time. This is the first relationship that I've been in where I lived with a guy.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'm 32. I've never lived with a guy prior to this current relationship. So of course that was like a little bit scary, but it was obviously like a milestone I always wanted. I just never had it. I never really, like for me, I never put like a timeline on like marriage and kids, but as I've gotten older, as this relationship has, you know, gone on, we've definitely had conversations, I would say in the last couple months of like, okay, when could this happen? When would be an ideal time? Right. But listen, I think it kind of is different for every relationship and every couple, you know, like I want children. I don't know if that looks like 1 kid or 2 kids, but I also don't want to be a super old mom having kids, you know? So we ain't getting younger, baby. I guess I don't have like a strict timeline, but would like things to progress. Definitely.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean,
I don't want to be with someone for 10 years and then be like, where's this ring?
yeah. And that's okay too. I mean,
And it is.
Yeah,
Whatever.
some people
If that works for you, that's fine.
Right. Right. I know. I always like, it's interesting.
Did you ever have a timeline?
I mean, I think in your mind you always have like, oh, by the
I would
time
love
I'm
to be at this
28,
age. Yeah,
I want this and that. Yeah.
I remember
Girl,
thinking
please.
30, I'm going to own a house.
I was like 26, 27. I'm going to have my first get out of here. Now I look back and those were like my favorite years.
Yeah.
But no, what I was going to say was I remember so many of my friends like jumping into things so quickly, like 4 months and you're moving in with him. Like what? And I'm like, it would just always like shock me. And I would always like cringe at stuff. And I'm like, that is just insane to me. Like, you're an idiot. Like, you haven't thought this through. You don't know him, blah, blah, blah. But now I'm like, honestly, if I found someone within like a month or two of dating that, was the right person and like we got along and everything, whatever, and it was moving that direction, I don't know. I probably would. You know what I mean? Like, I just have a totally different mindset and perspective than I did like 10 years ago, for example. And so I don't know. I'm not so hard on it. I think everyone's different.
I definitely feel that. I was just counting. I'm like, we moved in together after 7 months of dating.
Yeah.
And some would probably say that was soon. Did I think it at the time? Not really. Looking back, do I regret it? No. I actually feel like our relationship got so much better when we moved in together.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know.
But also we have a lot of space, and I think that's a big thing too. Like if you're going to live with someone in a relationship, girl, guy, whatever, your taste is, it's definitely still important to like have your own space amongst like in that house that you can go to and just kind of have your own little area.
Yeah.
Which, some people are not blessed with that.
They don't get that luxury.
Definitely.
I don't know.
It's different. Like I said, it's different in every relationship.
And the person.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like I said, myself, like I have a few years of experience. I know what I'm looking for now. So if you're not ticking that box for me, A, I'm not wasting my time. B, I would never live with you or never go on a trip with you or never whatever if that wasn't there, like, yes, I could see something maybe progressing over time and like you hang on a little bit, but for the most part at 35, I think I know pretty quickly, right? Like, I've been managing people for a while now. Like, I just understand personalities. I know mine. I know what I'm looking for. So it's just easier to navigate a little bit.
Sure.
But I don't know. So if you're listening out there, do you?
Yeah, honestly. We are not love gurus, okay?
Oh my gosh. Please don't.
Please. This shit has not been easy, okay?
What are your thoughts on like obviously you've mentioned like being friends with your partner is like super important. How do you think like that evolves, like your actual friendship?
Time.
Yeah.
I really do. Doing things that like your partner likes to do that necessarily you don't, honestly. If you told me that I'd be watching football and like know all this football stuff and who's the head coach of this team and that team, I would have laughed in your face.
Oh my gosh, I feel like you would know that.
Not as much as I know now.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I mean, my brothers, I would watch it, but I would not be sitting there for a full game, like engaged, like, oh my God, did you see that play? He likes watching sports. So it's like it's like time. It's time. It's doing hobbies that they love doing.
Yeah.
Did I think I'd be going to the golf range? No. But like he loves that. Yeah. He likes when I come with him. Like, so it's like really putting yourself in a different place, like getting out of your head. I don't know. Like, don't like put yourself in this box of like, I'm not going to do that. That's not what I'm into. It's like really like, you kind of just got to be open-minded.
Yeah. I mean,
and like, I don't know.
Ideally, your partner is supposed to be your best friend. At least that's what I would want, right? Like,
totally.
So I know with my friends, there's a standard. There's like, they know when to be there. They know like non-negotiables. You know what I mean? Like they know you and they're just like riders for you. And I hear what you're saying in terms of like your partner, Yeah. So it's like, of course, if you want to do something like, yeah, I'm going to be right there with you. Or, you know, you have to take this trip that's going to be brutal. I'm there. You know what I mean? Or
I would
likewise
definitely
with me,
say
like,
he, like when I talk to him, like he's one of the girls and I need like friendship advice. No, I'm serious. I always ask him for like friendship advice. He gives me like a completely different way to look at things and like brings me down to earth. And I'm like, wow. He literally like just makes me look at things in a different way.
yeah.
And I like really value that like he's like a friend that I can like talk to about like life problems or friendship problems or health or whatever, work, you know, whatever it is, life. And he just gives me a completely different way of like looking at things.
Of course. And I think
because he's also a dude. So it's like,
yeah, I was going to say
they're wired differently.
But I think that they look for our perspectives too, like several times where it's like, you know,
not like validation, but you almost like, it's not validation, but it's like truly like you're really like getting advice from like somebody who
cares about you.
Yes.
Period. Like,
and wants the best for you. And wants the best for you.
Who has nothing but your best interest at heart.
Absolutely.
Like, I was talking to someone for a long time and he was like in a kind of like a management role and would always like talk about the people underneath him and how they would never this and that and whatever. And I'm just like, dude, looking like it might be your management side. Like you give them like a mirror and just kind of be like, okay, hey, I know this about you. So you need to be a little like, I know you're an empathetic person towards me. You need to be that towards your team or whatever. And like flipping switches. And he's like, oh my gosh, like, thank you. Like it was just the advice, but B, just like knowing that someone looked at it in a different perspective. I didn't judge him and be like, you're rude, you're this, you're that. Like,
I totally feel that.
Yeah, it's, I don't know.
I completely
it's just
agree
that
with
bond.
You.
And I think it's super important off the bat. I feel like, again, there's so many freaking challenges where it's like you need to be able to look at your partner and be like, you want to grab a beer? Or
literally.
Like, you know, something where it's like, can we
Should
get
we
out of
scream
here?
in
You
a
want to get out of
pillow?
here? Exactly. But no, like I kind of want to end on talking about like self-love and maybe like individual love.
Yeah.
Because that's also a love component too.
Definitely.
So, you know, we talk about self-care here, but what do you do for like loving yourself? How do you love yourself, Rachel?
Oh, Lord. I love myself, but I think I could love myself a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think I'm like very hard on myself.
Yeah.
And I don't really know why, to be honest, because like I didn't grow up where like I was not loved. I think for me, like I'm big at like going to the gym. Like that is like my love language to myself. It really mentally helps me so much. And I can tell like when I don't go for a few days, I'm like
off,
not well. Also, I love talking to my therapist. You know, that is another way of like loving myself, honestly, because I'm like trying to be like the best version of me. I'm big into journaling, taking walks. Like those are the things that like help me feel good. Like I know this sounds nuts, but like when I literally write down to-dos and like cross them off, I feel good about myself.
Yeah. I
don't know. Like what about you? I mean, and I can do all the self-care in the world, right?
Yeah.
Nails, hair, whatever. But like
I would say like I treat myself the way I want to be treated, if that makes sense. So like I take myself out to nice places. I buy myself a coffee in the morning, like as dumb as it sounds. I go out with friends. I take trips, like like, you know, solo or meeting a friend or whatever that looks like. Like, yeah. So I think that that's kind of like my mindset is I'm setting the tone for what I expect.
Yeah.
And what I value too. Like, you know, I love and value family. So like I do a lot of that.
Oh,
you know?
Same. Totally.
Yeah, I don't know. Just like a bunch of that kind of stuff. I would say like I buy myself stuff all the time. You know, clothes make me feel good. Shopping makes me feel good. Work makes me feel good. Like so many things in my life that I do, I think like I just jump in fully, and that's what I do to love myself because it's my time. It's my like education or whatever I'm doing. Right. Like, and that's how I love and appreciate myself, kind of like laying down at the end of the day and being like, man, like
I killed it today. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like today's, or yeah, I mean, and it's not always like daisies and roses, right? Like there are some days where I'm like FML, but For the most part, yeah, you have to love yourself before anything else. No one else is gonna love you the way you love you. I truly believe that, and that was like a really hard thing. As a high schooler, as a middle schooler, as a college kid, like all of these stages in your life, like you finally realize, like, hey, the friend that I thought my whole life was gonna love me isn't.
Yeah.
My mom, even your dad, like your sisters, like, yes, they love you unconditionally. But are they going to love you the way that you love you?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
So you always have to give yourself that, I think.
For sure.
Important. But
plus, if they say, if you don't love yourself, how can you love anyone else?
It's true.
Right?
True, man. So, all right. Ending off, Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yep.
Hang out with your shorties, whether it's a partner or not. I know I'll find something to do.
Yep.
Are you doing something?
Date of some sort, or like here. I don't really care too much about Valentine's Day. I was never like, listen, like here we go. Like, I don't need like a $1,000 night,
No, yeah.
I'm sure we'll do something, or like he'll cook for me, or we'll cook here.
It's just a fun gesture.
Totally.
Kind of thing. Look, like,
I don't need anything over the top though. I've never been that way.
Yeah,
I'm sure people are surprised because I'm high maintenance, but I'm not when it comes to that kind of stuff.
I think we've gotten to a point where it's like, sometimes you think that all of these like are really commercialized and stuff, but I think at the end of the day, if you kind of celebrate the like core of it,
definitely,
which is like love and relationships and whatever, in any capacity, whether it's yourself, your sister, whatever, like, I think like there's a reason for the season kind of thing. I don't know. So it's fun. Like, yes, I'm not saying I want a T-bone, but
I wouldn't be mad.
We can hang out. Like, it would be nice to get, some chocolates.
Yeah.
Anyways, so visit your local swap.
Yeah.
They have lots of gifts and stuff.
So much stuff at Swap for Valentine's Day.
Totally.
And like the cute gift bags too.
Oh, yeah.
When we were there like last weekend, I was like, wow.
Well, Rachel, we have to end this love episode with a little
this or that.
Flea, marry, kill.
Oh, we're bringing it back.
We're bringing it back. I had to. I mean, okay.
I love this. Flea, marry, kill.
Ready? I know.
Yep.
All right. Zac Efron, Jason Momoa, Robert Pattinson.
Okay. Zac Efron. What was it?
Jason Momoa. And Robert Pattinson.
Jason, I'm marrying.
Okay. Good one.
Pattinson, I'm killing.
Gone.
Zac, I'm fleeing.
Zac.
What about you?
I don't hate that.
Yeah.
I might marry Zac though.
Okay.
Yeah. And flee Jason.
Okay.
All right. What about David Beckham, Brad Pitt, Will Smith?
Okay. David Beckham, Brad Pitt, Will Smith. I'm going to marry David Beckham.
Okay.
I'm going to kill off Will Smith and flee Brad Pitt.
Okay. That's tough for me. I don't know if I would kill Pitt or Will Smith, but definitely Beckham to marry. Come on.
Hello.
All right.
Just waking up to that every day.
Let's do some sport ones here. So Tom Brady, Cristiano Ronaldo, JJ Watt.
Okay. Tom Brady, I do not think he is hot at all.
Stop.
No, I don't.
Really?
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
So I'm going to kill him.
He gone.
Sorry. And what are the other two?
Cristiano Ronaldo, JJ Watt.
Marry Christian, flee JJ.
Okay, those are good.
What about you?
I might go with you.
Okay.
Yeah. JJ Watt. Oof. Okay.
Yeah.
Steph Curry, LeBron James, Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce, I'm going to marry.
Okay.
LeBron James, I'm going to flee.
Ooh.
The other one I'm killing off.
No, Curry's gone. Oh, man.
I was never a huge fan of him. I know he's like the OG of basketball.
Oh my God. He
doesn't
so smooth.
I mean, he is, but.
And those eyes. I can't.
So are you going to marry him?
LeBron's got to go. I'm marrying Travis. I'm fleeing Steph.
Okay.
For sure. Okay. Let's see here. Which another good one? All right. How about Channing Tatum, Bradley Cooper, Mark Ruffalo?
Okay. Kill Mark.
Damn, he's funny
Channing and who?
Bradley Cooper.
Oof. I think I'm going to Flea Channing, marry Bradley.
Okay.
He's like an all-around...
Solid.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Family man, got kids, loves his mom, brings her to the red carpet.
Loves his mom. Winner.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Usher, Lil Wayne, Jay-Z.
Usher, Lil Wayne, Jay-Z. Wheezy's gonna go. I'm sorry. I would be laughing the whole time. I'm gonna kill him off.
Oh my gosh, that's true.
What was the first one?
Usher.
Yeah, I'm gonna marry him. Flea Jay-Z.
Okay. I would marry Jay-Z because we'd live well.
Yeah. I mean, you live well with both, any of them, really.
Yeah,
right?
to be fair. I don't know, Wheezy, the way he talks about fleeing.
I feel like you're in.
I don't know.
You're into it.
I just have to see,
what's going on.
If that's true or not. Okay, how about Future, Big Sean, The Weeknd?
Oh, jeez. Future, I'm not into. He's got to go.
Okay.
Big Sean, The Weeknd. Big Sean's very short.
He's cute, though.
He's a short king.
He's cute.
Yeah. He seems like a good guy, too.
Yeah.
We'll marry him, flee the other.
The Weeknd?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd agree. All right, what about Chris Brown, Pitbull, T.I.?
Jeez. What a pick here.
I know, I really
Brown,
got creative here.
T.I.
And Pitbull.
Pitbull gotta go. Straight
Really?
up. Yeah, I am not.
What? Mr. Worldwide?
No, I would say I would flee him. That's it.
Okay. So who are you doing?
Chris Brown hits women.
Yeah.
So I have to kill him off.
Okay, so he's got to go. Chris Brown's out.
Yeah.
Pitbull, I feel like I'd flee.
I'd flee. And the
And then
other
T.I.
one,
marry.
yeah.
I mean, T.I.
Come on, bring him out. That was my jam. I
Even
still
though
get hype over
has
it.
like
He's
the
hot.
swag. Mm-hmm. All right, what about Post Malone, Jack Harlow, Bad Bunny? I feel like Post Malone would be really fun.
To marry.
Yeah.
I'm going to go marry him.
Jack Harlow I don't know very well, but he seems cool too.
He seems like a little hot.
Yeah.
Little hot shorty.
And then Bad Bunny.
Okay, so I'm going to go
He dated a Jenner, so.
Marry, what was the first one? Marry.
Post Malone.
Yeah, and then Flea, Bad Bunny. The other one. Sorry, Jack. I'm going to have
Jack's
to kill you
gotta
off.
go. No offense, Jack. All right, what about NSYNC, Jonas Brothers, BSB?
Oh, gosh. Marry NSYNC, Flea, BSB, Jonas out. I never got into them. Never got into. Yeah, there's not enough. There's not enough fun.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll do a couple more here. Kanye West, Eminem, Chance the Rapper.
Ooh, oh God, I hate Kanye. I used to love him. I can't
He's not
now.
cute though. Like it's there's got to be some physical attraction though. So
kill Kanye.
yeah,
probably marry Chance the Rapper, flee Eminem.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that vibe. All right, and what about let's see, how about Justin Bieber, Jude Law, Drake?
Drake I'm marrying.
Okay,
Hands down. Have you seen his content lately? Take me
content.
on a house tour, please.
The content.
Okay, so marrying Drake.
Yeah.
What are the other two?
Justin Bieber, Jude Law.
Justin Bieber. Jude Law. Ugh, he's fine.
Jude Law is fine. He's like the OG daddy.
I'm going to flee him.
Okay.
Just kill off Bieber. I know, that's sad, but...
A life without Bieber? I don't know.
Well, what's yours?
I don't know. For that one,
That's a hard... You got
It
these
is.
are all
I
like
know,
you're
girl.
putting like a lot of hotties in one.
Hey, you gotta
At
hit
least
'em-
we can
hit
both
'em
agree
hard.
we'd both marry Travis Kelce. Duh.
Without a doubt.
And I'm just gonna say this because and everyone knows that I'm not a Swiftie. I'm here for it. I love it. I
Yeah.
love their love.
Yeah.
We're gonna finish
Speaking
with
of
that.
love.
We're gonna finish with that. You know what?
Speaking of love, that is the most.
I'm loving it.
You're coming from Tokyo to the super girl. Please.
I'm in.
And guess what? I would for my man.
Oh, of course.
Without a doubt.
At the Super Bowl, We're about to turn up.
Shawty. Well, thanks so much. Thanks for another vulnerable episode.
Of course.
Thanks for everyone listening. We love to do kind of these like unhinged every once in a while. And yeah, with Valentine's Day coming up, it sounded fun to me.
Yeah.
So
as always,
yeah.
if you guys like this episode, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to another episode of You,
Me,
and
the Flea.
See you next time.